Welcome to the Monday Monologue. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about my work ethic or my workflow, as somebody else had put in the comments, and how and why I do the things that I do. I'm not going to pretend to be some professional that has every super fancy tool that you can imagine. I buy the stuff that I think that I need as I need it. And I value the appropriateness of having the correct tools for the job or special tools, that kind of thing. But I also realize that a lot of times the tool that I've got in my hand will do the job. And for example, somebody was talking about, I should use wrenches instead of pliers. You know what? These old pliers will hold a 440 nut just fine. But somebody feels better that it's more professional to use, like have a whole little set of wrenches for all the different little size nuts that we're using assembling this stuff. That's great too. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. Y'all will probably laugh, but in the last week, this is what I used to strip wires with, was just this dull part of this steak knife. And it's worked fine for me. But I did break down and I bought some nice little Hakko wire snippers and to go with my flush cutters. And they weren't real expensive, and yeah, this is a nicer way of doing this. I've been using like a nail for a center punch. And I broke down and bought this nice little Starrett center punch. And yeah, this is a lot nicer little tool, but the nail worked too. And I guess the point I'm getting to is I realize for a lot of us, this is just a hobby. And you may be interested in just building one thing like this. And so it doesn't make a lot of sense to invest, $100 into a soldering station like this when a $20 little cheapo soldering iron will do it just as, maybe not just as well, but it will get the job done. So don't feel bad. Don't feel like you're going to go out and buy the best of everything to do this. You can do this hobby and enjoy this on a budget, buying just what you need. And so let's focus on having fun and figuring out a way to do this in a cost-effective way that the results are really nice. Like, there's been times when I've stepped up and said, sorry guys, you're going to have to go out and buy, to do this nice, you're really going to need to go out and buy one of these Greenlee punches. You could use a step drill and drill this hole and get a file and maybe get a hammer and tap around the edge or use a hole saw. There's other ways of doing these things, but I'm showing you how I do it and what I think is important. And so I'm happy to have the comments and stuff, but realize that I'm probably not going to go buy a CO2 laser cutting station to fabricate this Hammond chassis and spend $5,000 or $20,000 or whatever one of those costs. So, and I do think some of this, I call it tool snobbery, kind of stems from this whole audiophile thing of this hobby seems to have spend more to get more. If you don't spend a lot of money, then you're not a real audiophile. Go buy those $500 speaker cables or you're not a real audiophile. And I think y'all know by now, that's not what this channel's about. We're about trying to get the most bang for the buck and figuring out how to do things low budget when we can and not spend needlessly to get to where we want to be. That's what Skunky Designs are all about, and it's hopefully why you enjoy this channel. Anyway, gonna rant a little bit about that. I am excited about the progress we're making on this phono stage. We're about to have this knocked out. I think we're gonna jump back on the 6SQ7 EL34 amp project. And I'm not quite sure whether I am going to build the two different ones like I initially thought, or I may just build what I feel is the easier to build version with the stand-up transformer that's readily available instead of that kind of exotic lay-down thing that you end up having to special order, because I have a feeling that's what most of you guys are going to want to build, and it's a lot easier to do. So we're probably going to go with that and save that exotic transformer for a future build. But the thing that I'm super excited about is my 47 amp. And it's going to be using 1930s, late 1920s, 1930s vintage globe tubes for all the tubes. I'm going to give it a real retro vibe. And I haven't seen a lot or any really people building tube amps on this direct heated pentode. And we're going to be wiring it up ultra linear with some super nice Hashimoto output transformers. I got a really nice CNC machine chassis we're going to be using. So this is going to be more of a higher end budget build, which I'm not expecting as many people are going to want to follow that, but I think it's going to be fun to watch, and I'm really excited about designing this. I'm not even sure exactly how I'm going to drive it yet, whether I'm going to use a 27 tube or a 56, how all that's going to play out, but I think that's going to be something that I know at least I am super excited about. So please stay tuned to my channel, please subscribe, please like the video, and I hope you're enjoying this much stuff as much as I am. Have a great day.